an all-new episode of Hanging with the Dreamer every Monday at 12 noon. Available wherever you stream. Hey, everybody, it's your old boy, the Dreamer. And very quickly, you can watch Hanging with the Dreamer on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and everywhere, every Monday at 12 noon, 11 Central, everywhere that you can stream. And here today to talk about new music, the new music. Oh my gosh, the new music of Mr. Cutter Savage. Cutter, welcome to Hanging with the Dreamer.
Dude, what's happening, Will? What's up? Starting it off hot.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to the show. Awesome. It's been a while, my friend. It has been a while.
Dude. Hey. Good to be here, man. Good to be together again. It's been a while. Been a hot minute.
So, let's talk about that new music. Let's talk about the pre-sale availability.
Yeah, man. So this is super, I don't know if you call it exclusive, but it's happening right now. The album is ready. It's with the pressing plant. So I've been working on this for quite a while. As you know, we've been getting together and stuff, and it's now ready, and I'm waiting for the test pressings to come back, but it's a really good time to kind of doing like a soft launch pre-sale. So I'm not like widely announcing it, but it's more like for friends and family. And, Will, you certainly qualify as both. So, I thought it'd be cool to talk about it here on your show, and just doing like a early pre-sale. So like before any of the singles launch or any of that like big kind of push, doing a pre-sale for friends and family. Like I said, there's also some cool stuff that's going to be a part of it. Like if you, want your name in the album credits or things like that, you can get on board with that. There's another one I put in there too, is, you can, I'll get your face put into the booklet that goes with the album. So if you ever wanted have your face in the crowd of an image in an album book, you can jump on that. But the full album's available for pre-sale. I guess we'll just throw the link in the comments, right, or something like that. Cool, man. Yeah, so you can jump over there, check it out. It's it's going to be on a gatefold vinyl. To me, the album kind of came out sounding like, like a mix of like physical graffiti a little bit, because it has like some real hard rocking spots. And then it's got some like, more acoustic things going on. Almost like if you mix that with like a Wish You Were Here or something. So it's got like some vibey moments, that are kind of spacey too. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool album. I think it came out all right. I think it's a good one to kind of put on the turntable, grab your favorite drink and dim the lights and, listen to the story that it tells from start to finish. So yeah, I'm really excited, and it's I hope people like it.
So during the time that we haven't been able to talk, and really during the time that we've both been developing our things and our what we do, what has happened to you? What kind of of achievements? What kind of things have you learned on the adventure that you're on your road, on your walk of life, man?
Yeah, man. Well, it's been quite a long road. Once I even got these songs together. So like writing the story was one piece of it and making that interesting. And then all the music that tells the story, and it tells the story in not really that overt of a way, like when you think about like I Wish You Were Here or like 2112 or something like that. Not that I claim to be anywhere near as good as any of those guys, but that was the idea of like it's kind of telling this story and you can hear it through the music and kind of imagine your own version of it in your head. So in creating all that, that took a lot of time. And then what I learned is that the mixing and mastering phases after that just take a super long time, like way longer than I ever thought it would. Especially like going from the mixes. So you're like, okay, these sound pretty good. And different versions of mastering can really change the sound, and depending on how it's EQ'd or what the compression is or whatever, you start to lose certain things that were there with the original mix, or it brings out a little too much of bass or whatever. And so, it really took a super long time to get it right. So that was a big thing I took away from that. So yeah, it's always work in progress. I know a little bit more for the next time. So, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Cutter, tell the world about your relationship with neck illusions.
Yeah, man. So check this out. This is the guitar that's on the cover of the album. And it has, though, believe it or not, it has a maple, it has a maple fretboard, but the maple on the cover was just looking too bright. It was like reflecting and stuff. And like, I really wanted kind of a dramatic look to everything on the cover. And I reached out to Neck Illusions and they set me up with, believe it or not, this is one of their kind of decal sets. And so you send them the measurements for your guitar and they send this back. And then they do all kinds of crazy designs that are super cool, but I wanted something really simple. But what you might not be able to see from there is like each of the dots, there's a fade that goes from like a dark red to a lighter orange to match the guitar. And it came out just super cool. So yeah, and I'm really, really super proud to be on the artist roster with Neck Illusions. I'm just beyond stoked. We were talking about it before we went on air, Will, just being on their artist page and, looking at some of the artists that are there, like Steve Vai, Jennifer Batten, on and on. And it's like, there's me, little old me who, I'm barely a speck on any of those people playing wise, but it's quite an honor. And I just want to say thank you to Neck Illusions for believing in me, believing in my music, and for setting me up with this super cool neck decals that look awesome. So yeah, I'm stoked about that.
Are there any other brands that are on your radar right now?
Well, definitely, I would say Kramer is on my radar. I'm a Kramer dude. I've been Kramer for life, man. Since Eddie played Kramer back in the day, been all about that, and just kind of from the one pickup, banana headstock, which I have one of back there, to kind of the Pacers. I got a couple of these. Got a Farrington hanging up behind me. I've just always loved that brand, and yeah, that would be a super cool one to get associated with Kramer. Yeah, they're awesome, man. I just love everything they do. I went out to the Gibson Garage in Nashville, which is, dude, if you ever get the chance, stop out there. It's super cool. And they've got a whole Kramer section. They got like the Night Swans, the Berettas. It's I mean, you could get lost there. then they've got like a giant Epiphone section. They've got Les Pauls. They've got a custom shop where you can go in, and it's just super, super rad, man. It was so cool.
I've heard about it. It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, definitely worth the trip.
So what is the vision that Cutter Savage has for his image, for your story you're trying to convey, and for your music?
Yeah, man. Well, story wise, this album tells the first piece that I think it's like the first segment of the story. It's about a guitar that was found, and it has some qualities to it, but it was created long ago by a sect of ancient monks. And there's a battle over the guitar, and there's a battle over good and evil. It's pretty epic. So that's this part of the story, and I wanted to do it huge, like gatefold album, and it's going to have a nice big book with like all kinds of illustrations, kind of old school style, right? So you sit there and you can vibe on the music and dig into the illustrations and kind of just have this whole experience. So that's like that's the starter, almost like when Star Wars came out, it was episode 4, right? There's a story that goes before it leading up to this one, and there's one that goes after it. So those are probably somehow, the next 2 albums that'll happen, and those will be kind of in epic form as well. So that's kind of what I'm working toward. I'm super excited about the current release. I think I'm excited to see what people think about it, after having the music kind of working on it and the story and all that, and having it kind of quietly hidden away for a while. I'm really excited to kind of see what people think and just get it out there and have it rock some people's ears and see what they think. Yeah, man. There are a couple there's like four songs on the pre-sale page. So you can go and check those out and take a listen and let me know what you think. There's a contact form. You can hit me on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Give me your opinion. I'd love to hear.
Awesome. So, what are the pedal brands that have been coming out that have gotten your attention?
Yep. So, well, a couple, brand wise, I don't know. I mean, I go all over the place. There's, this thing's pretty cool. This is like let me see if I can get it. It's like a Jimi Hendrix Proctavia that I've been messing with. And it sounds like, let me get it right. I think it's pretty cool. It's got like it almost sounds like it's kind of like broken guitar or something's like, like something's really broken, or I don't know how to really describe it, but it's super cool. It's really, the pedal's kind of interesting because, where you get like the modern pedals and you hit it and it does like the sound, but this is like the original circuits that they did for Jimi Hendrix. And so it's like all analog. It kind of fights back a little bit. Like if your guitar's not set, like it seems to like the neck pickup a little bit better, like thinner coils, and it does its thing. It also sounds good on kind of the neck pickup, but it kind of doesn't have as much maybe of like kind of that squeak and the wackiness. You have to kind of put it early in your chain. So it's just like this pedal that kind of fights back a little bit. And that makes it kind of cool, What else? So I always have loved these kind of octaver pedals. That's the OC3. That's Boss. Super cool. There's like OC2 and OC3, whatever. The OC3 has like a switch that basically gives you the OC2 or OD or what is it? Yeah, OC2, which kind of like. Let me see if I can get it to do it, but it like the octave gets a little bit confused and it goes and it's. I think it's kind of cool sound. Anyway, that's a cool one. The ever present, the MXR Phase 90. All right, we all know what that is. Just adds kind of that mushiness, you know. Especially like if you're doing kind of those repeating licks, you know, it gives. You know, the Eddie thing, of course. Those are a few that I've been vibing on lately. MXR, the Phase 90 is always in there. Probably the OC3 is always in there. That Proctavia is kind of new. And then usually have a couple delays down there. There's this JHS delay that I got. It's like a $99 thing, but they call it like this bucket brigade kind of thing. And like the delays kind of mush into each other as it goes. And that's like a really cool, interesting sound. So, yep. That's what's going on the pedal board.
Like, what's the climax of your story? What's going to be the next part of this guitar journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I wish I knew. I don't know, man, because what I've learned is like I put out an EP about a year ago, and it had a couple covers on it and one original tune. And it was kind of me getting anxious about releasing music because the mixing and mastering was taking too long and stuff. But you know, in releasing that, I learned a little bit on like how to release music, how to, you know, I made some connections with different media outlets and stuff. And it just kind of like was like, oh, okay. And, you know, this feels like the next right step. So like building on that and I'm not sure like how far or where it's going to go, but it just like after this album, I think it'll start to reveal itself like, oh, this will be the next step. I definitely know it's writing and recording like concept album type of stuff for sure. That's man, that's my zone. I just love coming up with a story and then figuring out like what would that sound like? What would that story sound like? And not telling the story like very clearly, but letting the listener figure out like, okay, in my own mind, you know, like theater of the mind, right? So like in my own mind, what is this story? And they get to interpret it their own way. So that's what it's about for me.
Wow. So Cutter, what do you have to show everyone?
Dude, let me see if I can get these and hold my guitar at the same time, but I have the test prints from the cover art. there's we're getting kind of a glare, but that's the front cover, and there's the back. And if you open, it's going to be gatefold, so when you open it up, you can check out the whole thing. And then let me see if I can show you here's the inner, that's the inside of the gatefold. That's going to have like a big old picture that you can open. So that's going to open that way. It'll be super cool. And then there's going to be a book that sits right in the inside, and that's going to have a whole bunch of other illustrations. So super excited. So I did all the cover art. I'm doing all the artwork for the inside and everything. Yeah. So it's all me, man. So there's a mastering place out in Oregon called Black Belt Mastering, and they cut. So what happens when you do an album is they take the tracks, they have to do a master for vinyl, and then they actually cut a record from those tracks. So they cut it with it's like on a turntable, they cut a blank piece of vinyl, like record, and they cut the first version. So Black Belt's cutting everything, and then they send it overseas to have it pressed. So it gets pressed and it comes back through them, and then it comes to me. So pretty cool, man. I'm excited.
You're on the right track. I can't wait to see what the next part of the story is. Dude.
Me too. I've got some ideas about how, I kind of know how the story begins previous to this one and what goes on after, but yeah, it'll be fun to even kind of flesh that out and see how it all comes together. So yeah, man.
So is there anybody you'd like to give a big shout out to?
Just shout out to everybody who helped me get this far. Will, you're one of them for sure. The support of everybody who's kind of just give me ideas, give me just help me believe that this could come to be. So I'm very, very grateful.
Do you? Absolutely. Very well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Indeed. So lastly, do you have any idea or any kind of a concept to put other musicians together to start taking your vision out on the road?
Definitely, man. So the guy who played drums on the album he's unbelievable. His name's Ben Lacey. He's into he can play Rush. Like he knows every Rush song. I don't know if you call it note for note on drums, but he knows hit for hit every single Rush song. So we were fooling around. It's like, what were we doing? La Villa Strangiato, it's like, oh yeah, I know that. And we start jamming on that. And it's like every single hit and he plays a double kick. So he gets even into some thrash stuff where it's just like kick drums the whole time. And sometimes I feel like, having him play on my album is like driving a Ferrari through a school zone a little bit, but he's that good. So, but he did an awesome job on like hitting the right grooves on this thing and just, making it really, really listenable, and giving it the right feel. So we jam together from time to time. We're looking for a bass player to kind of sit in and round it out. Once we get that, we're hoping to do some stuff out there live. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the goal.
What is the name of your debut release?
The debut release is called The Remnants of History. And as you get into the story, you kind of will maybe find out a little bit about why it's called that. Or you might not. It might remain a mystery, but I think you might be able to figure it out. It's the stories being told are the remnants of history. So you got to get into the album and try to see if you can make sense of it for yourself. And yeah.
You heard it first, Dreamers, right here, only on Hanging with Dreamer featuring Mr. Cutter Savage. Be sure to check out all of Cutter's links in the description box below by his music supported vision and downloads, purchase, buy, get into Cutter Savage, the remnants of history. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You have been watching your old buddy the Dreamer. You have been watching Hanging with the Dreamer. And be sure to check out all platforms where streams are, everywhere you can go to stream, everywhere you can go to listen to Hanging with Dreamer, with all new episodes on every streaming platform, Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to like, be sure to follow, be sure to subscribe, be sure to hit that support link for myself and for Cutter in the description box to help us keep bringing more epic content for you, the listener, and for you, the music fan, for you, the musician, for you, the visionary content creator. Thank you so much, Cutter.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And I am looking forward to our next meeting, to our next conversation.
Me too, man. Thanks, Will. I really appreciate it. Always a good time. Always.
Thank you, Cutter. Awesome. See you in the next interview, Dreamers. And remember, every Monday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, everywhere where you can stream. An all-new episode of Hanging with the Dreamer, every Monday, 12 noon. Available wherever you stream.